Hi everyone, I want to start off by apologising. I didn't do my 16th entry in the 24 Ghost Stories for Christmas yesterday, and the reason being that I had man flu or some sort of bad bug, which I'm still recovering from today. I know I'm always ill and I'm always complaining about it, but I did try to record something yesterday, but it just wasn't happening, and I didn't think you guys would really want to watch that anyway. So, as I struggled through my review, apologies, and today you're going to get two for the price of one. You're going to get the 16th and 17th entries. I'll upload the 17th straight after this one. So for the 16th of my 24 Ghost Stories for Christmas, we're going to be talking about the 1982 film The Entity, which was directed by Sidney J. Furie and it stars Barbara Hershey. The Entity was listed by Martin Scorsese as one of the 11 most frightening films of all time. I disagree with that, but the reason that it's on this list is that I think it is a good example of an American ghost story. And as I said before, this list is quite biased towards the British ghost story. And there are some fantastic American ghost stories out there. So, The Entity is supposedly based on the real life events surrounding a family, more specifically surrounding the mother of her three children, who experiences nightly attacks by an unseen enemy. This eventually leads her to believe that her house is in fact haunted. The the real life account is quite different to what we actually see in the film, but um, whether you wish to believe that actually happened or not is entirely up to you. But we have to just judge this based on it as a film. So the film starts off with Barbara Hershey's character being established as a sort of strong single mother character who she has an older teenage son, and she also has two other younger children. We instantly are introduced to her as quite a sexual person. In my view, this is my interpretation of the film, and some people completely disagree with this. But the way Barbara Hershey's character is around her son, for example, is, to me, it's deliberately provocative. She doesn't do anything that is completely inappropriate, but the interplay between herself and her son doesn't feel entirely that of a mother and her child. In some ways, it feels as if the older child, the son, has sort of become some sort of substitute dad within the family, and there are questions of that which are raised later on. However, Barbara Hershey's character then is attacked in her bedroom. She doesn't see her assailant, she's raped, and she believes that it was probably someone that had broken into the house. The son then goes around, checks all the doors, windows, can't find anything, and she believes that the person has just left. It's handled in a very sort of nonchalant way by the lead character. She sort of mentions it in passing to several people that she was raped, as if it isn't like a really big thing, but that's kind of as if it's not really sort of hit home. She starts going to visit a psychiatrist about this, and then she is raped again. This time she is able to see that there is no one there while it happens, because the first time I should have said that she has a pillow put over her face so she can't see anything, but the second time when she's having a bath, she sees that there is no one there, but she is raped by something and physically assaulted in what's quite a harrowing scene, to be honest. She then starts to tell her psychiatrist, look, this is happening regularly. She has injuries all over her body, bite marks, bruises, scratches. And she then starts to say, well, is this in my head? Because the doctor, the psychiatrist, and a group of other psychiatrists start to look into her background. And her background is that she was perhaps if not molested by her father, it was certainly on the cards that there was the implication that there was some sort of incestuous relationship going on between the two of them. She then ran away from home, and she has this track record of abusive male partners. So the psychiatrist then believed that this is her manifesting the problems that she has, and it's said to her that, you know, some people have been able to manifest injuries without actually personally injuring themselves. Again, that's open to debate scientifically, and I've just got a message. It's open to debate scientifically, but um, within the story, it sits well within it. It's the whole sort of stigmata debate, and the film progresses. Eventually, she realizes that, no, wait a minute, this is real. This isn't in my head. This isn't an illness, and she manages to get the help of a group of parapsychologists who try to get to the bottom of what's actually going on. They are trying to prove the existence of other, you know, dimensional beings or ghosts, and there is this conflict between her psychiatrist and the parapsychologist trying to help her, because the psychologist thinks that this is obviously avoiding the real issue, which is that this is a mental or psychological manifestation. So that's the story. I've actually went quite far into the film, but I'm not giving away everything that happens in it. Like I said before, Martin Scorsese said that he thinks this is like one of the scariest films ever made. When I watched this when I was younger, when I was a kid, I think I must have been about 11 or 12, and I'd been told about it. I might even have been younger, actually. I'd been told about it, and I had managed to get a a copy of it off of a friend, and I watched it, and I remember being scared shitless by it. You know, I was really, really frightened by it. The Because the effects for trying to imply that this invisible thing, this invisible force, is there, is really well done. You can actually see the fingerprints and impressions of this being's, you assume it's hands, on the poor woman's body as she's being raped, and it really was, and it really is quite a harrowing thing to watch. And I loved the fact that they brought in a science fiction-esque element to it towards the end of the film when I was a kid. But now when I watch it, I feel like that shouldn't have been in the movie. It feels like that's from a different film altogether. It's kind of like The Legend of Hill House when they bring in this sort of science fiction element to it. And I don't think it sits well with the rest of the story. The conclusion to the entity, it is a bit Hollywood. It's as if they really tried to give it this big Hollywood action ending, and I feel that jars with the rest of the movie. That being said, it still is frightening. I think it's just that there are certain elements within the film, even around something as serious as rape, there are certain things which border on, you know, if you were watching it in a cinema, there would be people who are shocked at it, and there would be people who laugh at it. You know, it sort of treads that line, and you don't really know which way it's going. Is it too much where it becomes humorous and farcical, and you can't really take it seriously, or is it really something that's quite harrowing to watch? So, to me, it jumps in between those two. The film is beautifully shot, by the way. I was really surprised when I watched it again how brilliantly shot it is. The cinematography is fantastic. And the performances are wonderful. Barbara Hershey's absolutely amazing in this film. She's really, really great. She really conveys all of the emotions, I think, of someone who perhaps is raped, because her character tries to deal with it by acting like it's not a big thing. We get that sort of aspect of it. We get the detachment, we get the anxiety, we get the moments of realization and clarity where the character breaks down, and then we have the sort of fortification when she becomes strong and empowered against this thing. We have all those different sort of scenes, and she plays all of them brilliantly, really, really well. So I would definitely recommend watching it. I do enjoy it. I think it is a solid film. I think there are some really good things in it. I think there are some things which border on not really working. I don't think it's the best example of American haunted house film. I think there are other examples which are better. Even something like Poltergeist, I felt dealt with the concept of bringing in parapsychologists to try and evaluate what's going on. I think Poltergeist dealt with that in a more believable way, even though there's probably even crazier things happening in Poltergeist. It somehow sits well within the context of that film. I think there are some things within the entity which don't really sit well within the context of it. That being said, it's a worthy entry, I think, in 24 Ghost Stories for Christmas. It sounds like I'm absolutely destroying it. It is a good film, and it is worth watching. And I think some people will find it very, very frightening. It would be interesting to talk or hear the opinion of the female audience for this film, what they made of it, because I think because it deals with female rape, I think their um, their interpretation and experience of the film probably would be quite different to the male audience's uh, experience of it. It's much like Shawshank Redemption, where there are elements of male rape, and Deliverance, where there are elements of male rape, and I think the male audience would deal with that and experience the film in a different way to women watching the film. So that would be interesting to hear about. Anyway, so that is the 16th film on my 24 Ghost Stories for Christmas. Definitely go and check out The Entity. It's a well-made film and it has some genuinely spooky moments. And I will be back, I was going to say tomorrow there, but we all know that I can't even find the stop button on this. We all know that so I've got the computer behind the webcam. We all know that I messed up, and I will be back straight after this with the 17th entry in my series. Right, bye for now. Okay, I've not hit the off switch, have I? Find the off switch. Find the off switch. It's behind the camera. Wait, okay, right. Let's just redo that, right? And we'll just pretend that never happened. I'll see you all in the 17th entry of the 24 Ghost Stories for Christmas. Off.